So yesterday marked the first day of fall. Not only did it do that, but it marked the first day of the trial of Amber Guyger. Now, Amber Guyger was a Dallas police the officer who walked into the wrong apartment, the apartment of Botham John, and shot the man that lived there. Now, her story is that she had worked for a long time and she walked into the wrong apartment and shot the man that lived there. I can't tell you what her motives were. I can't tell you what her frame of mind was. I can't tell you the sequence of events that took place that led to this tragedy. I can tell you this. That man was home. He was not breaking any laws. Somebody killed him. And because of that, someone should pay the price for it. It's plain and simple. There's no evidence that you're going to be able to see that finds that man was a danger to her. We don't have to get into her mind. You made a mistake and someone died. And I don't care how whether you're a police uniform or a mailman's uniform or a baker's uniform. He was at his home, which is supposed to be his abode. Matter of fact, he had the right to defend himself from you. You were responsible for taking a man's life who had done absolutely nothing wrong except be somewhere where you were in their proximity. Now, we had an event that happened where a police officer was called out to investigate. It was in Minneapolis. He accidentally killed a young blonde woman. She was an aerobic instructor, Pilates instructor from Australia, and he went to jail. And I expect the same thing. Look, this is not a question of what was in her mind. This is not a question of what he was doing. This is not a question of any of those things. It is a question of where are you supposed to be safe at? You are supposed to be safe in your own home. You entered the wrong apartment. You killed the man that lived there. And first off, I don't even know how that is possible to mix your apartment up. Particularly when we know that you've had that very officer had leveled noise complaints against that apartment, which was below her that earlier that day. I think that it's a shame that we knew more about the fact that he had marijuana in his pocket and to date don't know anything about what was in her system. To date, we know more about his history and nothing about hers because there is something in America where they've never seen a black person be killed that they're inclined to believe it wasn't warranted in some way. They tried to cast again. I tell you, I've said this before. Whenever a black person dies at the hands of authority, he doesn't just die then. His character dies. His reputation dies. His life story dies. One bullet, several deaths. I cannot tell you what her life was like. I can't tell you what her frame of mind was. I can tell you he lived there and she didn't. Now, maybe if you go to an apartment and a black man is wearing a ski mask, perhaps he's robbing a joint. But if he's wearing his drawers, more than likely he lives there. And what kind of place are we going to be? What kind of society are we going to be where it says it's okay to murder somebody because you're afraid? It's okay to murder somebody because you see a shadow. It's okay to murder. If you use deadly force, it should be warranted. If you use deadly force and it's not warranted, you should pay the price for it. Now, Amber Guyger said, by all accounts, she went to the wrong apartment. Answer me this, and I sincerely don't understand this. How does a white woman from Texas confuse her apartment with a black man from the West Indies? Didn't the smell of curry let you know that wasn't your apartment? Did you leave oxtails cooking? I understand that America has a problem when it comes to meting out justice for black people. This is a case where we see somebody gets to do what they want. We will see what justice looks like. You walked into the wrong apartment. You murdered the man that lived there. You should pay the price. He lost his life. You should most certainly lose your freedom.